This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so let me introduce myself. So I am Vishwal, and my highest qualification is MCA, and I have more than 13 years of experience in IT. And in AEM, I have been working since last 6 years, and I am certified AEM lead developer and certified OSPR Commerce lead developer. And currently, I'm working with one of the largest IT company as AEM architect. And my expertise are in Java, J2E, OSPR Commerce, and AEM. So till now, I trained more than 800 students globally. Okay. So now come to the targeted audiences of this training. So all the web developers who want to learn AEM content management system from basics to the advanced level, they can go for this training. All the CMS or all other CMS developers who are working on some other content management system and want to switch into AEM, they can go for this training also. And all the freshers who are having good knowledge in Java and HTML, they can go for this training. So prerequisites. So as I told, we need basics of Java. Okay, so AEM is a Java-based content management system. So most of the time, uh, we may need to work on basics of Java. Uh, in Java files and all. So you should have good knowledge, not exactly good, basic knowledge of Java. Like by seeing a Java class, you should understand this is a Java class, these are the variables, these are the methods, this is how we can create an instance of a class, this is how you can call a method, this is array list, this is hash map. So all the basic things you should be able to understand. Then basics of HTML. So everyone is having this knowledge, no need to say. Then basics of JS and CSS. Okay, so JavaScript and CSS basic knowledge is not mandatory actually, but if you have this basic knowledge, then it will be an added advantage for you. Okay, so just keep it. Okay, actually I was on mute. Yeah, fine. So what are what are the opportunities you'll get once you get trained in AEM? So as you know, it is the market leader among all the content management systems. It is having high demand in the market. We'll get a lot of job opportunities in comparison to other content management systems. All the big IT companies are having a lot of projects in AEM. And if you get a job with AEM profile, definitely you get a better package in comparison to the Java developers. So mostly we use AEM to create the website and manage the content. So there are a lot of websites developed in AEM. So some of the websites that I have worked, like albertsons.com, MetLife, windhamhotels.com. So as a developer, lead and architect, I have contributed a lot into these websites. Okay. Now come to the course contents. So our course is having two parts, basics and advanced. So in basics, we are going to cover all the chapters which are common in all versions of AEM. So right now, the latest version of AEM is 6.5, 6.5. So earlier we have 6.0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and all. So in basics, we are going to cover all the concepts which are common in all versions of AEM. Okay. So you might have got the course contents. So you can see just introduction, installation, different consoles, authoring architecture stack, page properties, Eclipse installation, create project, static template, page rendering component, sample website. So you'll use Sitely. We will open different consoles of AEM, modularize page rendering components, link resolution, inheritance of components, dynamic navigation component. We'll use loggers, we'll create training title components, we'll different types of dialogues, we'll create logo component, design dialogues, foundation components, parses, hyperses, breadcrumb. So complex components, internationalization, client library. So all those things are part of your basics. Okay. So in advance, we are going to cover the latest features, dynamic templates, policies, layout, creating base templates, content fragment templates, variations, authoring, experience fragment templates, variation, authoring, tagging, OSGI bundles, workflow basics, workflow customization, Sling models, Sling servlets, both path-based, resource-based, query builder, event handler, content services. So these are the chapters or topics we are going to cover in advanced. Okay. So the course duration will be around 30 hours, every day 1 hour, and in every class we are going to discuss some concept, and based on that concept we'll do the exercises. All the exercises should be done by you only in your system. I'll simply guide you how to do that. Okay, so that at the end of the training you will have a very good hands-on experience. Okay, and you can directly work on any AEM project. Okay. So any questions, doubts till now?
Excuse me.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just know about the basics of Java. That's like I don't know about HTML or JSS or JS. Like, is it possible to learn these like AM in 2 weeks?
Yes. In 2 weeks, actually, our course duration is 30 hours.
Yeah,
Okay.
like if I want to take like 2 hours in a day, if I work hard, like because I don't have much time.
Mhm. But yeah, so you can do that. But in this group, we are covering in 30 hours every day, 1 hour. Okay.
Okay. Okay. So okay, I will get back to you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now come to the introduction part. So before we jump into AEM, first we should know what is content management system. Okay, because AEM is a Java based content management system, and some of you are already working on some other content management systems also. Okay, so content management system is a tool using which you can create your website and you can manage the content of your website dynamically. Okay, so open one website. So using CMS, you can create your website and you can manage the content of your website. So manage the content of your website. What content of your website? What does it mean by content? If I open one website here, what does it mean by content? So whatever you see on this page, everything is content. For example, this logo, Logo is a content, this image, the text, this title, whatever you see on this page, everything is content. Okay, so managing the content means you will be able to change the content. So right now I am displaying, this is one news website, right? So it is displaying some news here. They got a new breaking news, so they have to display the new breaking news on their page. They have to display a different image, some different text and all. So without making your server down, okay, they will change the content of your website. So whenever you open ndtv.com, you'll find it up and running. But if you refresh the pages, you will find some of the contents are getting changed frequently. So how this is happening? This is happening because the website is created using content management system, and the contents are managed or contents are changed frequently. Okay, so using CMS, you can create the website and manage the content of your website dynamically. Dynamically means without restarting your server, you will be able to change the content of your website. Okay, so in market there are a lot of content management tools are there, like WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Crownpeak, Tridian, Sitecore. A lot of content management tools are there. Then why AEM is in demand in the market? Why everyone is interested in AEM? So to know that, first we have to know the history of AEM. So earlier there was a company called Days Software, and they had a product called Communic. Okay, Communic is the product name, or CQ5. Okay, so it was a content management tool and owned by Days Software. Later, Adobe took over that company and they renamed the product as AEM, Adobe Experience Manager. So earlier it was a CQ5, now it is AEM. Okay, so Adobe Experience Manager. Why AEM is in demand in the market? Why you are learning AEM? Okay, so first, AEM or Adobe Experience Manager is a product of Adobe. Adobe is a very good brand in the market. All the customers have trust on Adobe. That is the first reason. Second, Adobe is having a product called Adobe Marketing Cloud, AMC. Okay, and in that product there are 8 different tools. So in Adobe Marketing Cloud, you will find number of tools. AEM is one of the tools. Like AEM, we have Adobe Audience Manager, Adobe Campaign, Adobe Target, Adobe Analytics, Prime Time, Social. Number of tools are there in Adobe Marketing Cloud. AEM is one of the tools. So when the customer, when Adobe sells, they sell Adobe Marketing Cloud. They don't sell any individual tool. Okay. When the customer buys the Adobe Marketing Cloud, they will get all the tools inside that. Okay, so what they will do all the tools, are the tools are really helpful to them? What they will do with this a number of tools? Yes, these tools are really helpful to them. How? So why the company wants to launch the website? Because they want to generate some revenue from that website, directly or indirectly, right? So to launch one revenue generating website, what all tools are required? Everything can be found in Adobe Marketing Cloud. How? For example, I can create the website and manage the content of the website using AEM. Okay, using AEM, I can create the website and I can manage the content. But on the pages, I want to display these ads, advertisements, or campaigns. So how can I do it? So in Adobe Marketing Cloud, there is a tool called Adobe Campaign. If I integrate AEM with Adobe Campaign, I can create the campaigns in Adobe Campaign tools and I can show those campaigns or ads on the AEM pages. Okay, so Adobe AEM and Adobe Campaign can be integrated very easily. Just credentials required for that. Okay, so if I develop my website using some other content management system, for example, Crownpeak or Tridian, and I want to show the ads on the pages. I'll do that. I have to buy another tool for campaign tool from some other content, some other vendors, and I have to integrate that tool with Crownpeak or Tridian. That integration will take a lot of time, effort, and cost. Okay, so I have to buy another tool for that. But if I am creating my website using AEM, my customer bought Adobe Marketing Cloud, they got AEM, they got Adobe Campaign also. So no need to buy any third-party product from any other vendor. Okay, so this is for one example. I can give one more example for it. Let's say this is ndtv.com. I watch ndtv.com every day and I am very interested in sports news. Okay, so next day when I open ndtv.com, they will show me the sports news as a priority. Okay, so how this concept can be achieved? This is personalization concept, right? So if I am using AEM to develop my website, there are tools called Adobe Target and Adobe Analytics. So using these tools, I can analyze my or any user's navigational activities. Okay, and based on that analysis, I can show the personalized content on the pages. So I need AEM to create my website and manage the content. I need Adobe Analytics and Adobe Target to show the personalized content on my website. If I develop my website using Crownpeak or Tridian or some other thing, and I want to use this personalization concept, then I have to buy some third-party analytics tool. I have to buy some third-party target tool, and I have to integrate it. That integration will take a lot of time, effort, and cost. Okay, so instead of reaching out different vendors for getting different tools, you will get all the tools in one package, in one product, that is Adobe Marketing Cloud. So Adobe Marketing Cloud provides a complete solution for generating a revenue, for launching a revenue generating website. So that is the reason all the customers are preferring AEM. Okay, so some time back I told you managing the content. Who will manage the content of your website? Who will change the content of your website? There are users called as content authors. Okay, content authors are the persons who are going to manage the content of your website, change the content of your website. So how they will change the content? AEM provides a very flexible and friendly environment for the content authors to change the content. Okay, very friendly environment. How? Let's say I want to change this image. How can I do that? So simply I'll open this page. There will be a separate URL for that. I'll open the page, double click on the image. Okay, one widget will open and I'll drag and drop new image, click OK, image got changed. I want to change the title, double click on the title, I'll type the new title, click OK, title got changed. Okay, I want to change the text, double click on the text, I'll type the new text, click OK, text got changed. Okay, so AEM provides a very flexible and friendly environment for the content authors. That's why all the content authors are preferring AEM. But if it is some other content management system like our Crownpeak or Tridian, okay, the content author has to open a folder, then some subfolder, then some config file, do the changes there, open the page and test it. If it is not happening, find out some other config file. So it will be a tedious task for the content authors to manage the content if it is some other CMS. But in AEM, it is very easy to manage the content of your website. That's why all the content authors are preferring. So business users are preferring, content authors are preferring. What about the developers? For developers, AEM provides a lot of APIs, a lot of libraries inbuilt. They provide one sample web application also. If you want to develop your website, you can refer that how things are done there. You can reuse the things. Okay, So from AEM itself, you will get a lot of help as a developer. Also, AEM is very easy to learn. That is the reason all the developers are also preferring AEM. So business users are preferring, content authors are preferring, and developers are also preferring. So that's why AEM is in demand in the market. Okay. Any questions, doubts? Okay, fine. So now come to instances of AEM. In AEM, there are two instances, author instance and publish instance. So author instance is for developers. In author instance, our exact development happens. Okay, not only for developers, everyone will work in author instance to develop the website. Okay, so we have different types of users, right? Content authors, developers, administrators. Okay, so in author instance, our website development happens. All the users work on author instance to develop the website. To develop the website means we have to develop the pages of the website. So we have to create the pages of the website. How to create the pages of your website? Who is going to create the page? Content authors are the persons who are going to create the pages of your website. How they will create the pages? In AEM, to create a page, content author needs a template. Okay, in AEM, to create a page, we need a template. From where the content author will get the template? The developer will develop the template. Once it is developed, it will be available for the content authors to create the page. Now he created some pages. The pages are blank, empty. He wants to show some content on the pages. Content author wants to show some content on the pages. So how will show the content? He needs components for that. From where he'll get the components? Components are developed by the developers, or there are some out of the box components are also there. So content author will use those components to show the content on the pages of your website. Okay, so all these activities will happen in your author instance. So developer will develop the components, templates, authoring interfaces, Java classes, JavaScripts, configurations, all those things developed by the developer in author instance. And the content author will use the templates to create the pages, and you will use the components to show the content on your pages. So all the activities will happen in your author instance, and your website is developed in author instance. Now you want to show the website to the end users. So you have to publish it. Whatever you have developed, templates, components, any website, web pages created, you need to publish everything. Then it will go to your publish instance. Okay, so publish instance is just like a container which holds the latest content of your website. Whatever you want to show to the end users, it will be there in your publish instance. Okay, so whatever developed in author instance, you need to publish into publish instance so that it will be available for the end users. Okay, so it's just whatever you want to show to the end users, it will be there in your publish instance. Okay, so publish instance just like a container. If you want to do some changes in publish instance, you are not supposed to do there. First, that changes needs to be done in author instance, then it should be published. After that, it will go to your publish instance. Okay, so author instance and publish instance. So most of the times we are going to work on author instance. Any questions on author and publish?
Vishal, so in publish instance, it does allows content editing, is it? It's just that the practice is we should not do any editing, or does it actually allow?
Yes, it will allow. It will allow.
Okay.
But it's a good practice. Do that editing in author and publish it.
Okay, so authors should typically be not provided access to publish instance. Is that how it is done typically?
No, everyone is having access to publish instance, but the process is like author to publish and all. Okay.
Okay.
Let's say you want to test something in publish instance immediately. You can do that change and test it there. Okay. Later,
Okay.
when you publish the content from author to publish, it will override that change also.
Okay.
Okay. So author and publish. So there is another instance, or sometimes it is also called as another tool in AM, that is dispatcher. So dispatcher sits in between your publish instance and the end user. When the end user type the URL of your website or you wants to browse something, his request will hit the dispatcher, not the publish instance. Okay. So dispatcher sits in between your publish instance and the end user. So when the end user types the URL, it will hit the dispatcher. Then dispatcher will hit the publish instance and retrieves the content and display to the end user. At the same time, it stores all the static content in a temporary storage device. Next time, if you refresh the page in 5 minutes, so it will retrieve all the static contents from the temporary storage device, and all other contents will be retrieved from your publish instance, and your page loads very fast. So this process is called as caching. Okay, so dispatcher is responsible for caching and load balancing. So it will cache the content, cache the static content. Okay, and load balancing means it will balance the load on the publish instances. Okay. So you can have multiple publish instances in your project. Okay, let's say you have only one publish instance. Okay, take example Amazon.com. Okay, they have only one publish instance. For example, they have only one publish instance and they have thousands of users, right? Let's say 1000 users are trying to do some transaction at a time with Amazon.com and they have only one publish instance. What will happen? All the requests will hit the dispatcher and dispatcher will redirect all the requests to the single publish instance. Now a lot of load will be there on that instance. Okay, a lot of pressure. So the instance may become slow or may crash also, right? So to avoid that scenario, they can launch multiple publish instances. Let's say they launched 10 publish instances and all the publish instances will have the same content. Okay, now same 1000 users trying to do some transaction at a time. So they will type the URL, their request will hit the dispatcher. Now the dispatcher will do load balancing. It will distribute the load among different publish instances. It will redirect first 100 users to publish A, next 100 users to publish B, next 100 users to publish C. It will distribute the load among different publish instances. Okay, so dispatcher is responsible for load balancing and caching. Okay, so if you see in this picture, we have author instance, publish instance, dispatcher, and end users, and these are the authors. So let's say we have multiple authors. This author created some 10 pages and authored some content and published it to all publish instances. Another author created another 5 pages and published. Another author created another 20 pages published. So all the pages will be there in the publish instances. Okay, all publish instances. Now the end user will type the URL. Their URL will hit the dispatcher. Dispatcher will do the caching and load balancing and retrieve the content from the publish and show to the end user. Okay, so this is the internal content flow, okay, from authors to the end users in AEM. Okay, so any questions, doubts on this?
So Vishwal, so see in the CMS that I was working on, Oracle Web Center sites, right? So the cache configuration is all done at the template level. Okay. So we create template, right? We mention whether it has to be cached or not, and what are all the cache parameters. So so since it is a separate unit, right? And so how is this done? So is it like only global, or does it allow caching configuration at the template level.
Yes,
And the
correct. So dispatcher is actually it's a configuration. So we have a file called dispatcher.ani, and in that file we have to define the caching configuration. Okay, what all things you have to cache? You want to cache some pages or some servlets or something. Okay, you have to define everything in that ANI file. It's a config file. Okay, and you have to
okay.
define all the configuration in the dispatcher.ani only.
Okay.
Okay, so
So
mostly
Vishal,
it is
will we
done.
be covering the dispatcher as well in detail during this
No,
course?
so dispatcher is actually mostly managed by the admins. Okay, so we'll cover
Okay.
only the basics. Yeah,
Okay.
fine. So now come to templates and components. So what is a template and what is component in AM? Sometime back I told you to create a page in AM, the content author needs a template. Okay, so templates provide layout or markup to create your page. All the templates are developed by the developers, used by the content authors to create the page. So what is exactly template? So just observe this page. I opened ndtv.com. Okay, observe this page. What all things are there? Not as an end user, rather a developer. Okay, so you can see a header. In header you can see logo, navigation bar. Then we have a left panel. In left panel we have blocks of contents. Right panel, blocks of contents here. Then we have body. Then we'll have a footer. So what all things are there in this page? We have a header, footer, left panel, right panel, and body. This is the layout of the page or markup of the page. Okay. Now I'll open one more page. Now compare this page with the previous page. So in this page also you'll find a header, but when you compare this header with the previous header, you'll find this header is a narrow one, background color is black, the logo is displayed below the header, and there is no distinguished left panel. The body is stretched from left towards right. Then there is a right panel, and there will be a footer. So if you compare both the pages, previous page and this page, you will find both the pages are having two different types of layouts or markups, or you can say both the pages are created using two different templates. Okay, so templates are markups or layouts to create a page, are developed by the developers. Okay, then what is component? So when you create any, so the developer develop the template. In the template, you will have only the placeholders. So there will be a placeholder for header, there will be a placeholder for footer, there will be a placeholder for left panel, right panel, body. Okay, and in those placeholders, the content authors want to show some contents. So the content author needs components for that. Okay, from where we get the components? Developer will develop. He'll drag and drop the components in the placeholders. Okay, so what is component then? So components are reusable functional blocks. For example, this logo is a component, navigation bar is a component, title is a component, image is a component. Okay, these are reusable and functional blocks. So for example, logo, it is reusable. You can use this component in this page as well as in 100 other pages, or in the same page at multiple places also. It should have some functionality. If I click on it, it will take me to the home page of this website. Okay, so components are reusable functional blocks developed by the developers, used by the content authors to show the content on your pages. Okay, so in the placeholders, you just need to drag and drop the components to show the contents. Okay, so any questions on templates and components? So there are two types of templates in AEM: static templates and dynamic templates. So we are going to cover all. Okay. Right. So if you don't have any questions, then we can stop it here. And our next class would be the installation. So for that you have to do the enrollment, and okay, so we can contact to the training organizer for that. Okay, so we'll do the enrollment, then we'll do the installation and all. Any other questions, doubts?
So actually, I have a doubt. Like, what does like a front-end developer do, and like what does back-end developer do?
Yes, I do have same question, Biswal.
Yes. So just give a minute. Yes. Okay. So what is your question? What is the role of front-end developer and what is the role of back-end developer?
Exactly.
So yeah. So as I told, the developer will develop the template. So templates are the markups or layouts to create the page. So when you develop the template, we need both types of developers. So the front-end developer will write the CSS, will write the JavaScript, okay, and whatever required for look and feel, the front-end developer will do that, and the back-end developer will add the functionality. For example, you created a template. In that template, you'll have a form, HTML form. Okay, so some fields are there. The user will fill the fields, click on submit button or register button. After that, what happens? How the data will be submitted? All those things taken care by the backend developer. Okay, UI is not taken care by the UI developer. So understood? So UI developer will write JS and CSS files, and the core developer will write the Java files. Maybe he has to write some JavaScript files, but not the usual JavaScript that the UI developer writes. AEM JavaScript he has to write. Okay.
And as part of AM developer, we need to work on both front and back end.
No, so as a core developer, you don't need to work on JS and CSS things. Okay, so in your team, you will find all types of developers. If your team is having 10 members, you will find 6 core developers, 1 UI developer, and 1 or 2 content authors, 2 testers, like that.
What is the exact role of content? Are the changing the data only once we have both
Yes,
developers?
only. Yes, once your website and pages are created, the content author only manages the content. Okay. Let's say in your home page, you want to display you are displaying a banner, and you want to display a new banner from tomorrow onwards. Okay, so the content author will take care of that.
What is the exact meaning of module in AM?
Module. So module in AM.
Yes, means
So
sometimes people used to ask that what are the modules you've been owned, like that.
Okay, so modules means maybe they are referring to this particular thing like development, So while development also we have component development, template development, your server development, a lot of things are there, configurations. So maybe they are referring to different modules.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Biswa.
Yeah.
So,
Okay,
Vishnu,
fine.
for AEM 6.5,
Yes.
does it require JDK 11 by mandatory, or JDK 1.8 should also be fine?
Yeah, 1.8 is fine.
Okay. And I have 6.4 installed in my machine. So would that suffice, or should I go for 6.5 installation?
Yeah, we are going to learn 6.5 in the new instance. We have to do that customization.
Okay.
Okay, fine, guys. So you just for enrollment handle, just contact with your organizer, and we have class tomorrow same time. So where we are going to discuss about different consoles available in AEM.
I have just one question, last question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Like for the practical experience, like when we are practicing, like do you help to like for the softwares, or we need to like buy our software by ourselves?
So as you know, AEM is a licensed tool. Okay, so
Yeah.
it is not open source.
Okay.
I can share you the training license. I mean, software with training license if you don't have the software with you.
Okay.
But you have to use it only for learning purpose. You should not use it for commercially or share it with anyone. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very confidential thing, so it is.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, guys. So see you tomorrow same time then. Thank you.
Thanks, Visual.
Yeah.